If you woke up with your dream body tomorrow, I can all but assure you, you would be going through a roller coaster of emotions. You're gonna be jacked. You're gonna be excited. You're gonna be off the walls. You're gonna be euphoric. You're probably gonna be anxious, nervous, worried, and that's all very valid things to be feeling. You'd be confused as to why you've just all of a sudden woken up with whatever your dream body is. If I just woke up looking like Zac Efron from Baywatch, I would be more confused and more lost with what was going on than I would even really know how to process. The unfortunate thing about just all of a sudden waking up with your dream body, which obviously is never going to happen, but unfortunately a lot of people want it to happen that way, is you would end up in a worse position than when you would have originally started. You would end up in a significantly trashier position and probably even further away from re-attaining your dream body than you would be if you just attained it the hard way. I can confidently say this purely from a correlation to people who win the lottery. People who win the lottery go from their position, which is usually in the lower to middle class, buying lottery tickets, all of a sudden now getting bills on bills, mills on mills, and losing it faster than they can blink because there's a lot of things that they don't know about and that the lifestyle that they were living isn't applicable to the mills on mills that they now all of a sudden have. And it's the exact same thing with your dream body. It would be the exact same thing. 70% of people who win the lottery end up in a worse off position. Broke, bankrupt, and there's even worse things where they end up offing themselves. Attaining your dream body overnight would be probably one of the worst things that could happen to you because it would be a clear indication of worse things to come, which is not what we want. See, to attain your dream body requires a shift in your capabilities. It requires a shift in your knowledge and understanding. It requires a shift in your physical daily habits and the way that you think and approach situations in life. You cannot shortcut that process. Impossible to shortcut. Because if you did just jump from the start to the end product without changing any of this, you would tank faster than you could ever imagine. I know what you're probably thinking. Why should we listen to this guy? What's this? Why? This guy's just one of those other fitness dickheads on the internet. Well, this fitness dickhead has personally lost 40 kilos. I've been through the process. I tried to shortcut as many times as I could, and I always ended up in a worse position or more disappointed or less in love with my body than when I originally started. The thing to really wrap your head around, and I know it's really tricky to wrap your head around, goes against everything you're told. The happiness you feel when you attain your dream body eventually isn't from the actual attainment, it's from the process and the journey you go through to attain it. It's the process and skills, structure, and strategies that you developed to attain it. That's what brings you all the happiness and that's what brings you all the enjoyment. The dream body thing is honestly just a fucking sick byproduct like a cherry on top. But once you have the dream physique attained, it's actually significantly harder to progress from there because your focus is purely on one thing that can only take you so far. With the focus being on your process and the structure and the strategies that you use to get there, that can be an ever-evolving process. And that can be an ever-evolving process that launches you into so many more directions. I went through phases of wanting to be the biggest fucking dude I could be in the gym. That quickly shifted to then into jiu-jitsu. And now my focus is, the process on how I can be stronger and better in jiu-jitsu. I ran a marathon last year, so there was a good shift in my focus where all of my attention and processes was focused on how I could be a better runner to achieve a sick result. Finishing the marathon was great, but the processes and developments that I instilled into myself to get to that point is what made it so bloody good. I know waking up with your dream body sounds like the best and easiest approach, but I can promise you that it would be the worst thing that could happen to you.